Honestly, Black Clover right now, again, chapter 190. What is it? Is it 198? I think it's 198. The latest chapter, Black Clover, baby. My gosh. Let's talk about the... I mean, okay. And this is going to be a little bit scatterbrained, because I do have notes here, but right now I kind of just want to dive into just the epicness of, man, because we got an all-out brawl that was just built up in this chapter, which was even more fire. We have Nozel, we got Yami, we got Asta, we got Yuno, and then we have them. That's the party, which honestly, it's the other people are outnumbered, but from what I've seen, numbers might not matter too much with this demon or the devil, whatever you want to call him. There's so much to talk about, because now I believe we've had already 3 demons, if I'm not mistaken, in this. We have the one that's here right now, which seems like he's on some god level strength. This could potentially either be the person responsible or the person itself that was that demon head in the beginning that we see in every episode of the anime that the first Wizard King fought. That could be him. So we have him, and that he came from, what was his name? Ron? I want to say the dude's name was Ron. So that was that demon. Which, by the way, this chapter very Magi inspired. I want to say that as well. Falling into depravity. You gotta live with that. You gotta give it back. You must know, but I'm sure that you don't. Everything good always comes to an end. Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that wherever you go and whoever you meet won't be better than me. And I hope you know when it's all said and done, I was the best one. Yeah, you know. So we got Ron's demon. We have Asta, which I love the way the narrative is being presented from, like, the perspective of, like, we're getting the inner thoughts of the villain. Normally when a villain shows up out of nowhere, they keep them mysterioso. We don't learn too much about them immediately. But Tabata is giving us the perspective of the thoughts of the demon right there. So, very, very interesting the way the narrative is being presented. The art, incredible. Love it. Absolutely. Tabata's work. I mean, it's hard to describe. Like, honestly, Hungry Joker, he sold me then on, wow, this guy, he knows what he's doing. So, art, absolutely incredible. But Ron's demon, Asta's demon, which I'm kind of curious what it could be, because it was just so much, it was kind of confusing, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're getting it, like, if the villain is talking as if Asta and them are the villains. So, is this the head demon? Because the way he's talking like if they flies. Right now it's looking like if Asta and Yuno ain't nothing. He was talking as if this, or Patri is just like, weak. And Patri is giving them work. So if Patri's giving them work, and this guy's looking at Patri like he's just an empty vessel of anger, which, again, falling in depravity, Magi fans know what time it is. That this is straight up inspired from falling into depravity. I don't care, but it really makes me question just how strong he is, and things are insane. So let's start off from the beginning. At the very least, we know that there is a strategy that can be implemented for him to be damaged, because Asta and Yuno damaged the demon with, a quick thing, but to him it was just kind of like nothing, because then he pulls a Majin Buu and he's like, oh, heal, right? Because he pretty much says, heal yourself. So it's kind of interesting, and I'm curious to know more about this dark magic, the Grimoire of Despair. Very, very hype. I'm not gonna lie, like, y'all can probably tell by my enthusiasm that it's pretty lit. So, refers to Yuno as an elf loved and favored by Mana, as well as the power of a spirit. Yeah, because of course, Yuno has that guts angel thing going on from Berserk, and at the same, which he called him an elf. So, which my theory, and I'll talk about it in a whole other video, which it kind of just seems obvious to me, is that Asta and Yuno are twin brothers of some sort. And now it's starting to look more based on what the demon said. Asta is at the very least half human, half elf, right? Or Yuno, or both. So I'm more and more curious exactly what their heritage is, because we know they were just abandoned at the doorstep. For me, it just looks very similar to like a Naruto thing, where the first Wizard King is somewhat related to them. I think Tabata will put his twist, because Black Clover is more and more looking like it's taking the shonen tropes and doing a very interesting twist or spin on the classic thing we've seen. It seems as though Asta's grimoire is like one of the most beastly things in the world, and I love how it keeps hyping it up, but again, it's not going in the typical route as if Asta is having this internal struggle about these things. Asta don't give a shit. He just wants to keep chasing his goal. That's something that I love about Asta. He never forgets. Be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it real, and I know probably people that don't like Black Clover are gonna shun this or whatever. Asta is one of the most interesting, fun, and probably better main characters in Jump right now. Like, he's not trying to be edgy. He's not trying to discover the demons within him. He's funny, bro. Yeah, there was like, one thing about the chapter was that corny ass speech that Asta gave. It was like, you know, turning things around, which it was cool, whatever. Just felt like in the moment, like, yes, the Naruto comes out, which it used to bother me with Naruto. But honestly, Black Clover is just more and more feeling like it's Naruto's kind of offspring in a good way, but also with a couple other things. Because again, the falling into depravity aspect from Magi was clearly in this one. The dark elf, baby, the dark elf, the fake lit Patri. I'm curious again because, like I said earlier, if the demon is that damn strong and Patri, like, yo, it's crazy. Honestly, Patri got played really bad. This was clearly, well, this inspired me as the plot twist, like Naruto, but this is just what should have happened. Like, this is Kaguya done right, like I said before. Kaguya Otsutsuki, the trash that happened there, this is done right. Like somebody, a character like Lit or Patri, the fake Lit, well, you know what I was gonna say, because Patri is more like an Obito-ish. So I don't know. This demon is weird. He says, I don't know who you are, or what type of demon you are, but you're gonna hand that Grimoire over. Like, bro, you're the villain. Just because you feel entitled, and like, honestly, you can see the symbolic nature of all this. In essence, it's like, hey, there's bad parts, and he went down, which was kind of like, it's so much of a mixture. I know I'm scatterbrained again, but it's so much of a mixture of like, he's Black Zetsu because he was changing history. Like, it's interesting at the very least. It gives me reminiscent feels, but again, it's doing things in a way that I'm like, oh. It's better in certain aspects. And I know it's blasphemous to Naruto fans, but it is what it is. Now I'm kind of curious because he was talking about manifesting in the real world, that now he can do it. He needed the grimoire, and now he can go, and he's trying to fly to the exit, but then he's thinking that he wants to take Asta's body, so that's the body that he needs, because it's weird how Lit is the only one that needs an artificial body. Patri, everybody else got reincarnated except Lit. Lit's the only one that has that. So was the demon going to take Lit's body, and then he just decided no? Does he need both of them? Does he need the artificial body and Asta and Yuno, or just Asta? So many just questions blowing into this as this chapter occurred. It like blew a million theories in one. 500 years ago, the Grimoire of Despair was born, but then there was resistance. Where was the resistance? Again, more than likely the first Wizard King and Lit. Who knows? Honestly, maybe Lit is Asta and Yuno's father. The real Lit. Maybe Lit is Asta and Yuno's father, or the first Wizard King, which the first Wizard King just seems like, honestly, it seems like a great plot twist and a better plot twist if it's the first Wizard King, or if it's Lit that is the father. That is some, like, it's like Star Wars-esque, I guess. I am your father, but without the, you know, doing the same thing as well, which, hey, it's Black Clover. It takes inspiration from everywhere. Take Star Wars. Why not? Just do your own take on it. Make it Black Clover-esque. Like, that's where Black Clover shines over what Fairy Tail couldn't. Fairy Tail tried the same strategy, but it failed because it was just kind of like too much of like, hey, dead on the nose. Black Clover's like, yo, let's go. The demon tainted Patri to make it easier, and again, nasty as hell. He says, oh, it was so fun, which Patri, yo, he turned into like, he was hype when he was Lit. He's cool as the dark elf right now, but Patri, I'm sorry, bro. Like, if I was Patri, I wouldn't even want to come back. Like, yo, just send me away. That's one of the most humiliating things in the world. Bro got humiliated from jump, from birth. Okay, he was a puppet dancing. Okay, that's freaking crazy. The demon, the devil, whatever, played Patri from birth, and then of course he became the dark elf. Way stronger, but still, I'm curious if that devil is talking like if they're flies and he's not even in his complete form. He's trying to get out of there, or is this his complete form? A lot of interesting things. I can't wait to see how this is done in the anime, because the anime, this is a good time to show an incredible moment. This is where the demon says the human bound the fate of an illegitimate child of elf and human. I mean, that's pretty dead giveaway. Asta and Yuno, or one or the other, which I think at the time he was referring to, I want to say Yuno, but he could have been referring to Asta. But either way, it's clear as day. They're half-breeds, which is going into also the Ichigo-esque, like, Bleach element, which they all take from, there's only so many avenues you could go with storytelling. And that's where Ichigo started turning into, oh yes, he's a Quincy, he's a Shinigami, he's a human dildo. Like, you get what I'm saying? They're going that route. Don't stretch it too far with Asta. And then, you know, he's elf, human, demon, Piccolo Pig, like, you know what I'm saying? Just chill. The corny speech from Asta at the end, it was like, that was Naruto-esque, and that was just not even Naruto, that was shonen, we can do it. Wasn't really feeling it, I'm gonna be honest with you, wasn't feeling it at all. And then the chapter though, baby, Yami and Nozel show up. That demon is about to, I don't know, I was gonna say that demon is about to get the works in him, but again, who knows? I think Yami has some crazy limitless potential. Yami coming from outside of all this is interesting as well, because he's a party that's not necessarily completely invested in this, but he's invested enough because, you know, the kingdom or whatever, but he's not one of the, you know what I mean? He's an outsider. He comes from a whole different place. So it's going to be interesting to see there, of course, with Nozel. Nozel's interactions with the demon are going to be the key ones that are very interesting, because Nozel, you know what I'm saying? He has that superiority complex. He's a narcissist, you know, the House of Silver. So when the demon is looking at him like, hey, fly, buzz off, it's gonna be interesting. Maybe Asta will get kidnapped by the demon, theory there, because he wants him and he's trying to save him from this. He wants the body, or he'll attempt it. But we got 4-on-2 right here. The thing is though, how strong is that devil and demon? What is his connection to the original demon devil? The one, or the big monster, again, that the first Wizard King had to fight? Or was that big monster lit? Is this all wrapping in? Which, if that's the case, we're really getting deep into Black Clover getting closer to ending. That's just how I feel. If we're getting all of this now, where could we go with it? I mean, there's other kingdoms to explore, so there's that. But I really hope that that's not the case, that we're running towards the end. End of the day, Black Clover, this chapter, I ain't gonna lie, I give this 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. Incredible chapter. Very, very big setup, build up, a lot of revelations, a lot of theories though to come from this, of Asta's heritage, Yuno's heritage, what this devil plays in all of this, who the first Wizard King is in relation to these characters now. Likewise with Lit, why does Lit, we still have the question of why is Lit the only one that's reincarnated with artificial body? Why does he need one? Why is he too strong? Again, is it because his sons is there, his offsprings, or are they on some Ashura and Indra Naruto? You know what I mean? What's going on? Yeah, the author did say that he wants it to be like on some One Piece stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Zora in a bit. Is it Zora or Sora? I think it's Zora, I'm not sure, but yeah, Black Clover, absolute greatness. That chapter, bombshell, art was incredible. That my favorite panel of, well, there was a couple ones. Seeing Asta and Yuno in their forms, they look sick as hell, but when the demon is holding the book, and then after that, you see, like, he's like, oh, it's so easy to manipulate him. He's like, very, very sick, very awesome. Way better take on that type of story than, like, what Black Zetsu or Kaguya try to pull. Get them out of here. I just gotta keep it real. Yeah, I want a time skip, bro. I want to see Asta a few years older, still the same height, but maybe Yuno has, like, longer hair or something. You know what's gonna happen. Black Clover is playing on every trope. I guarantee, I bet my left testicle that Black Clover is going to have a time skip. And if it doesn't, damn. What do I donate it to? Let me know what you guys think, though. Now we're at that part. I want to know, Black Clover, latest chapter. How do you feel? What do you feel about the demon as him being the big villain of all this? Is he the first or original demon that, you know, we've seen in the beginning of the story that fought against the Wizard King? Is he just a normal demon? Again, the way he talked about Patri is like if he was weak, and Patri is really, really strong. So what's up with that? Or is he just talking in terms of like what his true form will be? Maybe right now he's not that strong. I hope that he leads to a big thing of villains. Maybe we'll have like the 7 deadly sins in there, you know. Tabasa's having fun with it, and that's what I think it is too. That like in an interview, he kind of like spoiled a future chapter, and thankfully they didn't play the interview until the day the chapter came out in the magazine. But that was very funny. Like, he's having fun with it, and you could clearly see. But man, the threat right now, if you thought Lit or the fake Lit Patri was like vicious, savage, this demon and this whole story and this world building that is leading up towards is even greater. Hells yeah, can't freaking wait for more of it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Oh, can't forget the music. Have an awesome day, people. For now it's whatever. One day I'll be your favorite for never. No matter how you know, get it done. No matter how you know, get it done. No matter how you know, get it done.